FOMO, the fickle mistress of the collector. Oh man, FOMO, the fear of missing out. We know there's a psychological component to this. So welcome to Yambonia. This is a judgment-free zone, and this is just where I am going to open up about my habits, both good and bad, and try to get to not the bottom of this stuff, because at the end of the day, these action figures, this toy photography brings me so much happiness. So it's really just being aware of things in a reflective type of manner. And if sharing my stories can maybe help somebody else out there, then that's what it's all about. So first and foremost, we know that FOMO creates an anxiety. It literally is a fear that you are missing out on having more fun or an experience, that something could be more fulfilling out there. And once again, before I even get into the whole thing, I know that my streams or some of the work that I've done, people have said, hey, I'm so excited to see watching you unbox that toy. I went and picked one up. That stuff is awesome. It makes me feel so good to be able to share in the excitement of a new toy, of a character, of whatever it might be. And we know in the toy community that there are just so many ways of celebrating our fandoms and our hobbies. And you have diorama makers just crafting beautiful worlds in a miniature scale. You have some of my favorites, guys like The Amazing, Unparalleled, Robo, just to name a few of many. Look at them. They do look good. Look at that posing Master Machu, top tier poser. Of people that I check out because I love sharing that excitement in what they're unboxing or what they're talking about. I'm now going on my 5th year of public collecting on my toy journey, and I definitely feel like I've navigated some pitfalls. I've also fell in some traps and pitfalls as well, and maybe, just maybe, some of these little tales can help you out in the future. So first and foremost, as I was saying before, social media, it feels like it turns our life into either a highlight or a blooper reel. But for the most part, that alone can cause a person to begin comparing their lives or their situations to other people. I know I certainly am very careful of and acknowledging the fact that I am grateful for being able to afford what I've been able to afford. This is what I spend my money on. I haven't bought clothes in 10 years. I barely get new shoes. Video games have now gone the way of the Jabberwocky for me. However, it is easy to, again, fall in that trap, to see our peers, to see our friends, just to see recognizable faces and personalities in whatever various community, but in the toy community, and feel like you need a thing or convince yourself to need a thing because other people are excited about it. So there is that social comparison part. And one of the things that has helped me tremendously is to only look to people as role models if it's in a comparison sense. So if somebody's doing a thing and I recognize their effort or their skill or ability, I look to that person not in a I can't do that or down on myself, but in a that's somebody, that's where I want to be, that's what I want to do, that's the type of work I want to produce. And in terms of the negative comparison, whenever I do get down on my own work, because it happens, I look at where I started. And that's who I compare myself against. And when I see my growth as an artist, as a streamer, as a YouTuber, it makes me happy to see the improvements in what I'm doing. And that's where I kind of hang my hat and keep that smile on my face. The second part is the fear of regret is often rooted in what we believe is not participating in these activities or experiences. So what happens in those moments are that it can create impulsive decisions. All of a sudden you have this fire under you, this sense of urgency to do this thing without really stopping, considering the other aspects in terms of toys, budgets, credit cards, balances, all of that type of stuff, where you just, oh, if I don't do this now. And this is literally happening to me at this moment, because I know I'm still in a mode of trying to regain control of my toy space. I'm trying to push out toys that I am not enjoying and get them into the hands of people that will, so I can feel a little bit better about bringing in some of this new amazing stuff that's been dropping. Case in point, the Mezco Deadpool. My goodness, that was such a slam dunk, and I'm literally now, I haven't pre-ordered it, and I know I have this sense of urgency. What do you mean I'm not gonna get it? But and then I have to stop and really think, like, wait a minute, okay, I have the Deadpool Hot Toys coming. That hasn't been charged yet. I can't just go dropping other Mezco money on stuff until I kind of wait and see how the smoke clears of that. And we are an emotionally reactive species, but we can control it through acknowledging our feelings, validating them, but then not immediately reacting, taking that moment, taking that pause, that breath to really stop and get back our control of our logic side of our brains. And then it gets tough because it's connected also to FOMO with this desire for connection that we have as people. But I have to tell you, we can have these connections, we can have these friendships without needing always to have the thing. So when it comes to figures that I've been on the fence about, another Mezco one, it was a big price tag, but it was also right there in terms of value and how freaking cool it is the Mezco Beetlejuice. But I haven't ordered that either because it is and was going to be a big hit for me. And it's a character that, while I love the movie, is it worth me running out right now to plunk down a bunch of money for something that won't be coming out for a little while? Like, I think I can wait. And I also am at a pretty good spot mentally where there is just so much cool stuff out there, at least in figure form, where if I miss something, I think I'm okay with it. I really do. And I'm just speaking for myself, but just acknowledging that there's gonna always be another cool new improvement, new design, new scheme. But at the end of the day, that's why it's up to you as an individual when it comes to how much you're willing to spend on anything in life. But that desire for connection, going back to it with the FOMO, is I can't wait to high five my fellow toy photographers that do get that Beetlejuice, that do crush it with amazing banger after banger pictures. And that's going to be good for me. Like, I'm going to be happy for my friends that I've seen enjoy it and sharing that excitement with them without necessarily needing something like that myself. Then we have social media algorithms, the bane of all content creators. There's no other way of putting it. It's hard. You have people from Instagram telling you your content's just not good enough, do better. There's so many people out there and blah, blah, blah. But no, these algorithms do impact how your work will be seen and reached by more eyeballs. And that alone can force that point of comparison to other people. And again, social media is literally designed to elicit an emotional reaction from us, which then goes back to the social comparison where we start thinking other people are having more fun than you. But that's, again, not the case. We have to catch those negative, intrusive thoughts and put them in the garbage, because we have 50,000 negative thoughts a day, negative, intrusive thoughts, stuff that just our brains are popping up because we are scared, fearful creatures. It's in our DNA from back when we were getting mauled by saber-toothed tigers. So now we're not the apex predators. We've evolved. We now are the apex alphas of the planet Earth. But guess what? If I'm in a room alone with a tiger, I'm going to lose. So yes, we do have these negative, wired feelings, brain wiring, survival instincts, animal instincts, fight or flight. And they can be tapped into, especially in the social media world, where what sells is that negativity and that anxiety and that fear and that worry. It points to just being aware of the type of media you consume. Because at the end of the day, these algorithms are going to show you what you consume and what you watch. So if you are watching that negative, baiting, anger, and producing content, that's what it's going to keep showing you. And it can add to the FOMO. So all of that is to say, I've tried to sprinkle in a couple of little fun facts here and there. But there are specific ways of coping with FOMO that I would like to share based on some limited research, because I just wanted to do a little bit of digging for this, and it is definitely a conversation worth pursuing in greater detail in maybe future streams or future videos. Absolutely in the comments below, so please let me know what you're thinking. But here we go. Here are some ways to cope with FOMO when you start feeling those emotions bubble up. Number one is limiting your social media use. It just screen breaks. It's wonderful. Focus on your own experiences. It's another one of the coping strategies, which I know in retrospect I've applied to myself, where if I see really cool things happening or friends getting toys that I was interested in, or I'll focus on what I'm doing, whether it's being with my kids, my wife. If it's in the toy world, what toys do I have sitting here in front of me that I can play with and enjoy? What things are calling my name? What things want to be photographed? So yeah, by bringing it back to your own perception, your own reality, and just focusing on your present moment, that will absolutely help combat that FOMO feeling. Next up, I'm a teacher. Social emotional learning is really, really important in terms of empathy, in terms of emotional intelligence and all of that. And by practicing mindfulness, things like meditation, deep breathing, it really can help calm those nerves and help you regain that clearer head. And sadly, yeah, sometimes that means you can't get the thing that you want, at least for me. And that's a bummer. Nobody likes being told no, even to yourself. But it helps. And again, once that you get out of that moment and move on with the rest of your day, you feel good because you've forgotten about the FOMO. Next up, setting boundaries. So whether that's a toy budget, whether that's a limit on the amount of figures you want to bring in a month, in a year, Toy Daddy 100. But either way, definitely having limits and boundaries for yourself in terms of how you want to see in the toy space your collection. What do you want to do? Start picking lanes, start deciding organizational techniques, what's staying in, what's going. But either way, having those boundaries will really help. And saying no, again, to whether it's activities that experiences that don't align with you and your values, or in the toy space, just being comfortable saying no for whatever your reason might be, and being okay with it, because you don't owe anybody an explanation other than yourself. You just need to explain that to you for any life decisions, because it's your life. And the last piece, and I hope that if you've watched me for a while, you feel this. And if you're new to me, welcome, because I'm going to talk about it a lot. But it's gratitude. And it's gratitude for what you're able to have, the fact that we live in, and sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but it is the best point in human history in terms of our past as a species, in a civilization, and society. This is our best point, and we only have more to go in terms of a better, brighter future for my kids' generations, my students' generations, just the future of people. So by focusing on being grateful for each day, for what you have around you, the loved ones that appreciate you in your life, then I guarantee that can help reduce those feelings of FOMO, because you're going to feel good regardless. The new toy, as cool as it might be, is not necessarily going to give you that long-lasting contentment or joy that you're looking for. But being grateful for every day, that certainly helped, again, keep this smile on my face. So thank you so much for checking out this video. I really look forward to discussing this in more depth with you. So leave a comment below to share your story, because I want to read it. I would really appreciate everybody that's ever checked out any of my videos. Listen to me talk about toys. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. So thank you. And if you are interested in supporting what we do here, not in a FOMO way, you can become a citizen of Yambonia, where every week you can vote on the topic for this additional toy-related video each week. Thank you again to the citizens of Yambonia for last week's Is Collecting Hoarding video and this week's FOMO video. I appreciate you all so very, very much. And just so you know, at 8 p.m. every Sunday night, I go live to talk about life and toys. So I hope to see you in the chat one of these days. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of yours now. Kill that FOMO.